you go into the lift, and you see an Asian or maybe you see an Indian, and you're about to step in, and they see you. Some of them will do like this.
Okay.
On the train.
Right.
Now, I didn't understand what was going on for a very long time. But fortunately, I have an Asian friend. And the one that was like, why do everybody do this?
Because they smell the...
So they said, it's just, it will sting.
Right.
I'm not going to do the banter with you of telling you there's some American food that stings. But why didn't you spend some time with it? Because this is your first time you're experiencing it. We've seen people make fufu, egusi soup, and they tell like it's trash. But then you see an American eating fufu with spinach, they'll tell you they want the plantain with it. They will go well with them. Like, you look at them like, we don't eat like this in our country.
All right, we're back at it. Oh, too fresh, hop on now.
Yes, sir.
Let's run this again one more time.
We are here, no time.
How you doing?
All right, let's go.
I just want to ask you this question and get your opinion on what you think about this.
All right.
We've been in America, you know, to our fans in overseas or Africa, whereas there's this thing that they probably don't know, but we'll bring it more into enlighten them a little bit about you've dated girls, women in the past that are not so-called Nigerians or not Africans.
Yeah.
And I could speak for myself, yes, and I'm also married. And even the woman that I'm with is not American, she's not Nigerian, she's not African. So my wife is always telling me like, oh, this African stuff stinks. And she's not the first person that I've actually said that. Even in my past relationship that they come like, nah, I don't like this stuff because it stinks. There's this stench, there's this odor that comes from this African stuff.
From the aroma that we enjoy.
Right. Aroma that we enjoy, exactly. So my question to you, bro, is like, what's your take on that? Like, why all the stores is making this American people not to, you know, actually come in and experience this African market and see the different varieties of food because of the order that they perceive that's coming from the store. You could go, this artist, what's her name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany, right?
Tiffany Haddish.
Right, Tiffany Haddish. Like, she actually I think she's on vacation in Namibia, one of this country, and was like, oh my God, this is like one of the stores that actually don't stink, you know, coming from American. So, and it's something that I'm so familiar with because I hear those people talk about this all the time. What's your take? Why do this stuff stink and what can we do about it?
Thank you for the question, actually. I'm laughing because it goes in many ways.
Right.
First of all, no matter what we say, some people are entitled to their opinion.
Okay.
And some people will never see it from our own angle. But I think over the time I've spent in America, there's something I've realized too is cultural shock. Because it has to do with our culture, the kind of food we eat, how we perceive to want to make our food. And I will use Tiffany as a case study. That doesn't mean it's direct to her.
Hey y'all, so I'm out here in Zimbabwe, in Harare, and look at the grocery store. They got a grocery store. It's beautiful. It's beautiful in a grocery store. Look at these organic strawberries. This is what I love. They sell sugar cane, and it is fire. They got the dates on deck. How much are these? $67. Wait a minute. The price is different, but it do look like it's expensive. Look at this grocery store. It's huge. It's absolutely humongous. In Africa, baby. Yeah.
And when I watched the video that she did, you could tell from her intention is good.
Oh yeah.
She wasn't like she's trying to bullshit or say anything bad about African.
Shout out to her for actually,
African,
you know,
store.
Right.
The fact that she can even show that part gives a lot of people another understanding of Africans. Like, don't think everything is just expensive, or maybe everything is bullshit in terms of you don't expect the standard. Because she was saying in the video saying she liked the standard of how everything looks like, even though the price she was saying wasn't in dollar price. But back to after that. I think, first of all, language barrier play a big role. When an American say you're stupid, sometimes they don't mean you're stupid. It's just an expression. When an American say like, your food stink, because we're coming from a country where we hold that word with a very big value. When you tell me to my face, my food stinks, I'm about to be hungry. Like, what do you mean? This is something I knew my father, my mother, or maybe I took you to an African store and I'm about to tell me like, dang, thing.
Right.
I think it's a language barrier of what they mean. Not every one of them. I'm talking about the people that I've spent time with.
Okay.
It's more about expressing quick their sense of belonging of what they know. Now, over time, sometimes I express to them like, nah, it's not that bad. The first time they will tell you like it's bad. I've learned to realize that people will tell you they don't want this, but when they spend some time with you, they'll tell you, let me try. That goes with Afrobeat.
Okay.
I've been here for a while. I've realized sometimes you play the same music, some people they tell like, I don't want to listen to it. They're saying, I don't understand. Then 5 months in a row, you can go back and they tell like, oh, you know this song? I would like it. You look at them like, are you the same person that tell us like, our song doesn't make sense? I'm saying that to say, we're on the top. Africa is on the top. When I mean Africa, Nigerians are on the top. And when I mean we're on the top is we are so much influential that people want to talk about something that people don't value in us. So when I'm in your midst of going to your place, I see something I've never seen in my world. My nose starts smelling something that is not. I'm definitely going to call you out. I think what Africans can do as a Nigerian is not to let our statements go over our head, but to explain to them like, I'm not going to do the banter with you of telling you there's some American food that stinks. But why don't you spend some time with it? Because this is your first time you're experiencing it. We've seen people make fufu and egusi soup and they tell like it's trash. But then you see an American eating fufu with spinach, they'll tell you they want the plantain with it. They will go well with them. Like, you look at them like, we don't eat like this in our country. But to them, they're like, so I think it's just Black people, African are still in shock about how to embrace social media. So every time we see something that trigger our mind.
But not to defend, I'll just play the devil's advocate.
Your personal experience have never make you change how you look at African American, yes or no?
It does.
So tell me how it make you change so that I can be able to answer.
No, because I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay, yeah.
But I want you to understand that this statement is not a statement of social media. This is way before social media even existed. I want you to understand that, number one. And number two, this is how I know you try to water it down, not to make it look like they really feel it stinks. And because it stinks, they don't want to eat it. They don't want anything to do with it. But it's not coming from hate. Let's get that out the way. It's not coming from a hate, perspective of how they feel. It's just how it stinks. And most of the time, I'm like, yes, it does stinks. It's basically me trying to explain to you that, of course, I don't think they're coming from hate. Okay. It's not coming from any place that is that hatred. There's no hatred. It's just what they see, and that's their own reality. Like, this place stinks. Okay. You understand? So my thing is that I know why it stinks. You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't even think it stings. You know why I said it? You know why?
That's where me and you disagree.
Yeah.
That's where me and you disagree. You don't think it stinks? I think it stinks horribly.
Okay, so I don't think it stings. But it stings. When I mean saying I don't think it stings, this is something where a little bit out of this particular episode. Okay. Is out there for anybody that can catch it. Okay. What we eventually tell ourselves becomes what we believe.
No. You're going too deep into this.
Yeah, that's why.
I don't want you to think deep.
So I
want you to just literally.
I'm not thinking deep.
It's like
taking it practical to you. That's how it works for me now.
Okay.
So I found out what we say out continuously becomes what we believe.
It's not that. I disagree with you.
Okay, good. It's good.
I disagree. Yeah. Okay. I disagree with you.
Okay, it's good.
Because I don't want you. I think you're still going deep.
No. So this is how I can break it down for you. That's what I'm saying. Okay. But I'll break it down to my level. You said something. You said, I'm choosing a word that makes it seem like it's not something that is very important for us to talk about.
It is important.
It's very important.
It's very important.
So my approach of life that I found out in America is the fact that I'm saying when I see something that is wrong, I could call you out that is wrong. Okay. But my approach of how I say it is very important in how you get it.
Right.
If you're telling me the food stinks, right?
Right.
This is something I just talked to my partner a couple of days ago. We were talking about it. Actually, it was today. And she said something to me. She said, it is not when you're telling me it's bad, it's how you tell me it's bad.
Right.
Now, you know from what I'm telling you that I acknowledge that what they say is bad. But if I get you correctly, you're trying to make me understand, like, I'm not pushing it in an agenda that will make them realize that, okay, this is wrong.
I see where you're coming from. You basically, but I know where you're coming from. Yeah. It's how you say it that matters. But guess what? There's no other way you could tell me the place thing is just, it doesn't smell well. My question is, you could see, and these people I'm trying to tell you, they're not telling me like, oh my God, that place stinks. No, it's like, oh, I don't want to go there because there's this order that comes in, it just stinks. It just the smell is not. Okay. So I want you to understand that despite the fact I'll give you my life experience on that. Despite the fact they're still telling me in a very sweet way.
They don't say it in a sweet way. I'm only trying to say it in a sweet way.
But
They don't say it in a sweet way.
I'm telling you, some do
Yes.
say, some do tell me in a sweet way.
Because they don't want to offend your feelings.
They don't want to offend my feelings, exactly. But guess what? I'm not worried about how they saying it. Let me. I want you to understand my question, right?
The
I'm not
foundation
going-
of the food as things.
Thank you. I don't want you to tell me how they think. I don't want you to rationalize it. I just want you to tell me
Okay,
it does stink.
No, that's what
But
I'm
you're telling
saying.
me it doesn't stink.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, it doesn't stink. And I'll tell you why I said it doesn't stink.
Okay.
Now. That's good.
Okay.
The reason why I said it doesn't stink is this. We only believe it stinks because we live in America.
I disagree.
Now,
I
there's
disagree.
chances you be in Nigeria. People won't tell you it stinks.
I disagree.
Now, it's good that you disagree because you hear.
Right.
Now, I'm telling you because I've been stay home for a very long time.
Right.
Before I leave,
Okay.
we don't count it as it stinks.
In Africa, they don't.
Yes.
They don't.
So
right.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if
Right.
I'm to say it, I wouldn't acknowledge Americans saying it stinks.
But guess what? They're not. You see, you're not in Africa.
Yeah.
You're in America.
Okay,
And
fine.
it stinks in America.
But now-
what do you do about it being stinking in America? That's the
good.
question.
So that's-
if you're in Africa, you guys could have a whole stinking home.
So that's
fine. Nobody cares.
That's what I'm heading to about
Okay,
that. I've been with a lot of Americans in
Right.
America that have been around me for a very long time. And there's some food they said it stinks. Actually, it stinks. But over time, they started eating that food with me. That would cook.
It doesn't matter.
So
it can
that's
still
why it matters.
stink, but
No,
it's still,
no, that's-
people,
that's-
no,
that's-
it stinks doesn't mean it doesn't taste good.
So that's where it matters.
It does-
And
it
I will
doesn't
tell
matter.
you why I said it matters in that. That's why I go back. I said, what we continuously say becomes what we believe.
I don't believe that.
So you don't have to believe. And I'm
Right.
about to tell you this. We're moving a little bit out of it.
Right.
This is my personal experience. When I was in Asia, in Malaysia, when you enter to the train, these are Asian people. They sit on the train. Oh boy. The moment you sit in between them, everybody move away from you.
The moment an African sit, let's.
This is something that happened to me.
Okay, the moment an African
Sits in between them.
and this is the
You know, like
Malaysia.
if in New York, there's subways all around. People just
Right.
So the moment you sit in between them or you sit next to them, they intentionally stay away from you. Not every one of them. But most of the time, it's something that happened a lot. I'm going to a place. So this is something I don't know. I'm just schooling in Malaysia.
Right.
So when I go into a lift,
You think you stink there?
So I'm about to tell you, when you go into a lift.
because me, I'll be giving you the answer. I'll be giving you the
I'll
direct
be giving you the
question.
answer. So when you go
not
into the
gonna-
lift,
Right.
and you see an Asian or maybe you see an Indian, and you're about to step in and they see you, some of them will do like this
Okay.
on the train.
Right.
Now, I didn't understand what was going on for a very long time. But fortunately, I have an Asian friend. And the one that was like, why do everybody do this?
Because they smell the.
So they said, it's just it was sting.
Right.
Now, the Asian that was
You don't
sitting
need
in front of me,
to.
I said, but what do you mean with sting?
Okay.
So she now said, sting bad. It's what we've been told by our parents, the African stings.
She's
Now,
the person is trying to make you feel. She doesn't want to hurt your feelings.
No, you
the
haven't
bottom
allowed-
line is that you guys stink.
You haven't allowed
the
me to
person that
finish.
is. Okay.
You haven't allowed me to finish that.
Go ahead.
I'm not lying. I don't stink.
Okay.
I used
No,
to.
no, I doubt-
No,
okay.
I'm using my own personal experience. That
Okay.
because it's something that happened to me around them.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. This is personal.
Right.
So I asked her, but I said, but I don't stink. She was like, yeah, it's not like you stink. It's just something, the notion we've been told. There are a lot of Asians are still scared of black people that when they sit next to them, there's a notion they have in their head about black people. So there was one time in Asia that in Singapore, in Malaysia, that Africans were pushing drugs a lot. In Singapore right now, you can live in Singapore as a Nigerian. I don't know, maybe it's changed in 2016, 17, you can't. Because of how Nigerians are pushing drugs. Now, not all Nigerians are the one pushing drugs. Some people, this is fact, some people are making Nigerian passports. Because this is live, everybody can watch it.
Right.
And they make replica of our passport to go and do drugs. When they catch them, they claim they're Nigerians. So when the news is going to bring it out, it's Nigerians. So Singapore block you can't stay in that country, you can go and come back. That's for Singapore. So when I now asked her, my friend, I said, but do you think we should have now she said something which, this is not racial statement. I didn't know that as an Asia, they are here. They are really hair in their hair. They value our Nigerian hair. She was telling me they have to have their bats 3 times because of their hair. Their hair. They have to have 3, or else their hairs have a smell.
Right.
Now, in America, I'm not trying to go racial. I won't call no kind of race or anything like that. There's some race you sit down with in America as a black, that you know they smell.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Oh yeah.
all I'm trying to make you understand is, if we continuously sit right here and I'm acknowledging somebody's telling me my food stinks, that when I'm in Nigeria, I don't even know it stinks until I come to America.
Right.
Why should I continuously acknowledging something you're telling me when I can tell you like it doesn't stink? That's where my point of saying it doesn't stink comes from. acknowledge you, your sense of belonging tells you it stings. What can we do? We have to coexist to make sure you can enjoy who I am.
That's no.
Now,
I'll tell you.
I can agree to say no because I got to respect your view. But in my own world, that is what I say. Now, I could do something, compromise part of my food. But what is my joy if I compromise what make me happy just for me to be in a relationship with you?
No, it's not this is not.
Now, that's my world.
That's your world.
Now, tell me your own world.
I want you to understand cultural diversity, right? And the cultural shock too that happens in America or any other part of the world other than Africa, right? And adapting to the environment you're in actually plays a long way.
True.
That adaptation skill comes in. I'll give you an example. If you're an African owner owning an African store, there's so many things you could do. You could still sell the same product. Homeboy next door is selling as an African. Same store they sell in Africa, but the way you preserve your food and the way you package your food, and you're constant going to the store and buying all kind of smell things that could make your store smell good. You're not doing that because you're trying to save money. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Right?
I get it. I like what you add to it.
Right.
I like
so
that.
it's not gonna, the smell is always gonna be there because that's the spice. You know what I'm saying? You're still selling the same pepper that's tatarado or whatever. How do you say?
I'm trying.
Right.
I'm not trying to stop you, but I like what you said because that's I didn't even see it from that angle, which I respect you.
Right.
But you know, Indian spices smell worse than us.
It does, but guess what?
The curry.
It still goes back to the same thing I'm trying to tell you. How you package, how you preserve it, how you put it together. And not only putting it together, you could put some little scents in the store or like different angles and different places that could make it smell good when people walk in.
Yeah.
Those are practical things you could do. It doesn't change your food. It doesn't change your food. You're still selling the same egusi. You get what I'm saying? You're still selling the same obono. It's still the same price. But when you walk in there, you're not going to smell. Right. You see the way it's branded. The container you put it in. You understand? And when I walk through the first door, I can see different types of smells and places to make your store smell good. They don't want to do that in your store because you don't want either. I don't know why. Maybe people are not complaining enough. Americans are not coming in there because your target audience is feeling is African, so they will understand the smell. No, you can't do that. You get what I'm saying? Because you want to also patronize other culture to walk in there.
Oh, you've been in America?
Yes, in America.
I think I get what you're saying.
Right. So I'm giving you practical examples. These are practical examples.
I think I went personal. You went on a business part.
Exactly.
I think that's what we did.
Right.
I think I went by experience, personal experience.
But I'm seeing it.
And you are looking at it from the business perspective of Stephanie, going out there and saying, if you're in America, how can we preserve our store?
She went to the store and she even said, this is well preserved. This is well packaged. She said it.
But you know that's some food that you can't well package, though.
That's a good topic. That's a good one. Like
there's some food. There's some.
You could use
Yoruba. They call it like gbegiri, and
I know, right? You could still
this damn.
Even though
no, there's this nut that it smells bad.
But guess what? Right? You could still put it in the fridge. No. Forget about all that stuff. There's a place where you could make your store where you could be like, okay,
it's meant for this.
It's meant for this. Or be aware of this. Like you put a note, be aware, like you know how to say.
I think that goes to Africa too because we're learning from ourselves.
So there's a place you could still put all those smelling food in one side. And even though you put those smelling food in one side, you still have all those scents or something to still help you.
That makes sense.
It's all about how you package that place.
And we shouldn't continue to live in our old ways of thinking.
Especially we can't continue to do that.
Yeah, that's. I think I would say we bring different ways of looking at it.
Right.
For me, I'm looking at it from somebody that wants to live with me in a house. We can take time to learn how you're gonna like my food. I'm not saying I have to enforce my smell to you today. It might take me 5 years before you cool with that smell, but I'll still continuously bring it. I was gonna like if you cook ofada rice will make you run away. It will make you run away.
Ofada rice.
Even your neighbor will go like,
what the hell are you cooking? Right.
Like, are you about to cook a dead person?
Right.
Yeah. So you're right, but there's a way we could go around it and still cook that food without us.
Still cook that food without spoon, and then open. Yeah, and there's a lot of So those are the things we need to pay attention to.
And I think I want to add this for anybody that might be watching this episode from Nigeria. You might not, no disrespect to people. You might not be able to understand this particular topic until you leave Nigeria and you live outside Nigeria. Yeah. That's when the cultural shock of this kind of conversation will hit you.
Make sure,
So when you see people outside Nigeria talking about Nigerian food, don't be ignorant too quick to be carried away about what they are saying. Respect their truth because they are living from another world. They are not in Nigeria, or they are not in Africa. So, and whatever I said about Malaysia, Indian, is not to disrespect the culture. It's not to bring out anything. It's about sharing my own personal experience. And I know a lot of people have went through the same thing. But at the same time, I still don't disrespect Asian. I love them.
You should, of course.
And I still connect with a lot of people of them, but it just makes me to realize how they look at us from that part of the world. And there's nothing wrong about you look at me over time, people change. Like that, my friend will become so close that she taught me a lot of things that I didn't even know exist in the Asian world about how they look at black people. I think that's all I can say about that topic about, you know, the kind of food your partner, no, the African
stores,
the stores, and, you know,
stores
African food, bringing out that kind of smell. How do we feel about it? You know, there was one time that African American don't even eat our food.
Yeah,
they say it's tasteless.
So we now
bro. they eat. Everybody want
to taste egusi and taste,
even though it's spicy.
Right.
Egusi has been the most favorite soup everybody eats in America. Like they just like it. And so yeah, I think for me that's all I would say that I have in mind about something that stink or doesn't stink. Like we always say, if you've enjoyed this particular episode, if you know we've shared our views, and if you're watching us, you're listening to us any part of the world, our goal is not to disrespect anybody. I hope you get a message. I hope you understand our niche. I hope you understand how we're only trying to connect the dots, irrespective of how you might look at us, is to bring conversation that people don't want to have, or even though you have it, you don't have the context of some more information about people might be saying it. So our goal is to bring those conversations to you as a Nigerian, as an African, from our own end of the world, which is America, to let you realize that there's more to the world than how you might see it and how you want to judge people. African Americans are striving every day to want to be among us, to be with Africans. Black people are, you know, stretching their hands to connect, to want to go back home. And whatever they are seeing today might be something that will trigger them. It's going to take a time.
Right.
So expressing their truth shouldn't be a problem to us. We are from home. We should find a way to compromise and be able to respect their view and keep letting them understand who we are and how we can intertwine our culture and our way of life. So that's from our own end in this particular topic. It's not to disrespect anyone or to make you feel less of your culture or your belief on how you look at us as a Nigerian, as an African. But our goal is to make sure we can all sit there and talk. And I hope we've been able to do that with Big Vic with you in this particular episode. We really appreciate you for watching with us. To the next episode, I'm about to borrow Big Vic word. Keep subscribing, you know, keep sharing with your family and friends. We love you. And till the next episode, peace and continue to connect the dots.